Marriage, a sacred bond, a cornerstone of society, and a deeply personal commitment, a union of love, trust, and companionship, a promise of shared dreams and mutual respect. It's the beginning of a new chapter, filled with hope and the promise of a future built together. But behind the decorations, the radiant smiles, and the time-honored rituals, hides a painful truth: the insidious and persistent dowry system, a shadow that darkens what should be a joyous occasion. Even today, in our so-called modern society, where progress is celebrated and equality is preached, dowry still dictates the fate of many marriages, casting a long shadow over the lives of countless women and their families, often silently, behind closed doors, but devastatingly, leaving scars that may never fully heal. Dowry, a tradition that refuses to die, a relic of the past that continues to haunt the present. The dowry system is not new. It's a deeply ingrained practice with roots stretching back centuries. It started ostensibly as a way for parents to provide for their daughter, to ensure her financial security and well-being after marriage, a form of pre-inheritance. But over time, this practice twisted and contorted, turning into a demand, an expectation, a heavy burden placed upon the bride's family, and often a threat, a tool for coercion and control, leading to unimaginable suffering. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, in 1961, the Dowry Prohibition Act was introduced in India, explicitly making the practice of giving or receiving dowry illegal, a punishable offense under the law. Yet, despite this legal framework, according to the National Crime Records Bureau (NCRB) data, the statistics paint a grim picture. Over 6,500 women die every year in dowry-related cases, a shocking indictment of our society. That's almost 18 women every single day, losing their lives to this barbaric practice, a number that should shake us to our core. Today, the insidious nature of dowry has evolved. It doesn't always come as a blatant, outright demand. Sometimes it's subtly hidden, masked in seemingly harmless words and phrases like "gifts for the groom," a euphemism for what is essentially a transaction. "Help us start a new life," a veiled request for financial assistance that often goes far beyond reasonable support. It's a tradition, not dowry, a dangerous justification that perpetuates the cycle of exploitation. This pressure is silent, often unspoken, but incredibly dangerous, pushing families to the brink. Families feel forced to spend lakhs of rupees, depleting their life savings and jeopardizing their future. Gold, vehicles, furniture, extravagant displays of wealth meant to appease the groom's family, just to match the perceived status of the groom's side, perpetuating a culture of materialism and competition. Just because it's cleverly disguised, hidden beneath layers of tradition and social expectation, doesn't negate the fact that it is, at its core, still dowry, with all its inherent dangers and injustices. Dowry isn't just about the exchange of money and goods. Its impact extends far beyond mere financial transactions. It poisons relationships, creating resentment and animosity between families and within the marriage itself. It destroys self-worth, leaving women feeling inadequate and devalued if their families cannot meet the demands. It tragically turns marriage, a sacred union, into a cold and calculated business deal. Women are often seen as a liability, a burden to be borne if their families are unable or unwilling to pay the demanded price. And worse, even when families do manage to pay, fulfilling the initial demands, the expectations often keep rising, creating a never-ending cycle of pressure and extortion. For many brides, the journey of married life begins not with joy and anticipation, but with fear, anxiety, and uncertainty about the future. Parents are often forced to go into crippling debt, mortgaging their homes and sacrificing their financial security. Sisters are sometimes forced to delay their own weddings, as the family struggles to recover from the financial strain. Some families are completely ruined, emotionally scarred, and financially devastated by the burden of dowry. In modern marriages, the pressure and conflict surrounding dowry is becoming one of the leading, yet often hidden, causes of divorce. Constant arguments and disagreements over dowry-related issues, unrelenting pressure from in-laws, coupled with emotional harassment and abuse. These are increasingly becoming common and heartbreaking reasons for broken relationships and shattered dreams. A marriage that is fundamentally based on money and material possessions simply cannot build a lasting and fulfilling home based on genuine love, respect, and mutual understanding. Now, the most important question we must ask ourselves is, can we truly stop this deeply entrenched practice? Yes, absolutely. Meaningful and lasting change starts with each and every one of us, with our individual choices and actions. Say a firm and unwavering no to dowry, whether you're a prospective groom, a parent, a friend, or a member of the community. Educate your sons from a young age, instill in them the values of respect and equality, and teach them not to expect gifts or favors in marriage. Teach your daughters that their worth is not measured in money or material possessions, but in their intelligence, strength, and character. Actively support couples who choose to marry simply, celebrating love and commitment over extravagant displays and financial demands. Modern marriage requires modern thinking, a shift away from outdated traditions and towards a more equitable and compassionate approach. Every single time we choose to stay silent about the issue of dowry, we inadvertently allow it to survive and perpetuate its harmful effects. But every time we raise our voice against this injustice, every time we challenge the status quo, we move one step closer to building a truly equal and just society where women are valued for who they are, not for what their families can provide. Speak up against dowry, stand up for equality, because marriage at its heart should be a celebration of love, commitment, and partnership, not a transaction with a price tag attached. In your opinion, do you believe that the dowry system continues to exert a significant influence on modern marriages? We encourage you to share your thoughts, experiences, and perspectives in the comments section below. Let's start a conversation. And if you found this video informative and thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to SamSpark, where truth finds a voice and where we strive to shed light on the issues that matter most.